Did you know that little back pain, extreme fatigue, and even cold sweat could be the first signs of a heart attack? What you think is just stress or poor posture could be your body warning you that something serious is happening. And the worst part, 90% of people ignore these symptoms until it's too late. Are you paying attention to your body's signals? Because if not, you might be one step away from a fatal emergency. In this content, we're going to uncover these silent signs that almost everyone overlooks. This isn't about creating panic, but about staying one step ahead when it comes to heart health. Recognizing these signs can not only change your perspective, but also save your life or the life of someone close to you. Ready to discover the 10 signs no one tells you about? Then let's dive in. 1. The subtlety of heart signals. When you think of a heart attack, many people picture dramatic scenes from movies, intense chest pain, panic, and then collapse. However, the reality is much more discreet and treacherous. Subtle signs such as extreme fatigue or back pain can be a silent cry for help from the heart. Ignoring these warnings is a common mistake, and the truth is that many don't even recognize that the body is trying to communicate something serious. Have you ever had those days where you feel more tired than usual, with no apparent reason? Well, the heart could be behind it. Recognizing these signs can make the difference between acting in time or letting the situation worsen. Small discomforts like neck pain or sudden nausea are often attributed to a stressful day or indigestion, but few realize that they could be warning signs of an impending heart attack. This kind of knowledge needs to be shared because no one wants to be left in the dark when it comes to their health. For example, when you feel that unexpected cold sweat during the day, it's not just fatigue, it could be a warning. Paying attention to these signs is crucial. Swelling in your feet or an unexpected palpitation isn't just a temporary inconvenience. It's the heart sending coded messages, and it's up to us to decode them before it's too late. But before diving into these more specific details, remember that extreme fatigue is one of the most common and undervalued signs, and that's where our conversation continues. 2. Extreme fatigue, the tiredness that isn't normal. That feeling of exhaustion that seems unexplainable could be much more than just the result of a bad night's sleep. Extreme fatigue is one of the most underestimated signs of heart problems, especially in women. It's not the usual tiredness of everyday life. It's the kind of exhaustion that doesn't go away even with rest. It's like your body is running with the brakes on, and this can be a sign that the heart is overworked and struggling to keep up. Imagine always feeling tired, even without effort, like climbing stairs and feeling drained. That's not normal. Many people attribute this fatigue to a busy routine, stress, or age. But when tiredness is accompanied by other symptoms like cold sweat or shortness of breath, it's time to raise the alarm. This type of fatigue doesn't improve with a break, a coffee, or a longer night's sleep. It's the body saying something is out of place, and ignoring it can be dangerous. In practice, when you feel like you don't have the energy to do even the basics, even after resting, it's worth investigating. Sometimes this fatigue manifests subtly, like a constant weight on your shoulders or an unusual difficulty concentrating. It feels like everything turns into a Herculean task, and the worst part is that many people never even consider it could be related to the heart. This is the kind of detail that slips under the radar, but that's exactly where the danger lies. Now, when we think of unexpected discomforts in the neck or jaw, what could your body be trying to tell you? 3. Discomfort in the neck, jaw, and shoulders. An annoying little pain in the neck, jaw, or even shoulders might seem like just the result of bad posture or a bad night's sleep, but don't be fooled. These signs can be directly linked to the heart. The pain doesn't have to be strong or constant to be concerning. Sometimes it appears as a slight discomfort, pressure, or a tightness that comes and goes without explanation. It's easy to overlook because people often don't associate this pain with a potential heart attack, but the body has its ways of communicating. Imagine you're at work and start to feel tension in your neck, as if you've been carrying too much weight. You immediately think it's just the stress of the day or a simple strain. But if this pain comes with other symptoms like palpitations or shortness of breath, it's time to pay attention. This is more common than you might think, and it can happen without a specific pattern, making it even harder to connect these dots to the heart. It's a warning few notice, but one that can save lives. These discomforts are often neglected because no one thinks that jaw pain could be a heart signal. However, it's precisely because these symptoms are unexpected that they're so dangerous. The body tries to warn us in ways that often seem disconnected, but are deeply intertwined. The next warning the body might give comes in the form of even more disguised symptoms like nausea and vomiting, which are often mistaken for digestive issues. Let's delve into this further. 4. Nausea and vomiting. Nausea and vomiting are symptoms that we usually associate with digestive problems, something we ate that didn't sit well, or even stress. But what few people know is that these signs can be a warning from the heart, especially in women. This discomfort, which seems harmless, can mask a much more serious issue. Imagine suddenly waking up with a feeling of nausea for no apparent reason and thinking it's just something temporary. Well, it could be your heart saying something's wrong. These symptoms, because they are so common and easily attributed to other causes, are often ignored when, in fact, they deserve special attention. The body often reacts to the extra effort the heart makes to pump blood, and nausea is a reflection of that. It's not uncommon to hear of people who, hours before a heart attack, reported feeling a queasy stomach or even vomiting. If these signs repeat without a clear cause and are accompanied by other symptoms like cold sweat or back pain, it's worth seeing a doctor. The situation gets even more complicated when these symptoms occur unpredictably, appearing at any time of the day. It's this unpredictability that makes diagnosis difficult and increases the risks. The next symptom, which is also one of the big silent culprits, involves feeling dizzy or even fainting unexpectedly. Let's explore this further. 5. Dizziness or fainting. Feeling dizzy now and then may seem harmless, especially if you think it's just a sudden drop in blood pressure, a busy day, or even dehydration. However, when dizziness becomes frequent or occurs suddenly, it's time to be alert. These episodes can be a sign that the heart isn't pumping blood effectively, leading to reduced blood flow to the brain. Worse still, this dizziness could be a precursor to a heart attack, indicating that something is seriously wrong. Fainting, on the other hand, is more dramatic and can be just as frightening for the person experiencing it as it is for those around them. Yet it's still common to attribute it to trivial causes like stress or lack of food. However, a sudden fainting spell can be the body's cry for help, indicating that blood flow is compromised. Imagine being in an ordinary moment of your day and suddenly everything goes dark. This warning sign cannot be ignored. If it occurs alongside shortness of breath or palpitations, it's crucial to seek medical help immediately. These signs don't choose a time or place. They can strike when you least expect it. This unpredictability is what makes them so dangerous, as neglecting them can lead to more severe symptoms like shortness of breath. Often unrelated to physical effort, it shows up and makes your body fight for every breath. Want to know how this happens? Let's find out. 6. Shortness of breath. Feeling short of breath for no apparent reason is a sign that many people ignore or attribute to other causes like anxiety, tiredness, or mild respiratory issues. However, when the heart isn't functioning properly, shortness of breath can be one of the first warning signs. You could be sitting quietly without exertion and suddenly feel like you can't get enough air. This is a clear warning that the heart may be struggling to pump blood efficiently, making the body fight for breath. It's an uncomfortable sensation, like your chest is compressed and air isn't reaching your lungs as it should. For many, this symptom appears especially at night, interrupting sleep and causing a suffocating sensation that wakes you up in panic. It's more common than you think, and most people simply believe it's something temporary, perhaps just a bad night. But combined with other signs like back pain or dizziness, shortness of breath is a strong indication that it's time to seek help. This is the kind of symptom that can't be ignored, as the heart is literally gasping for extra air to keep functioning. Often, cold sweat follows, reinforcing that the body's on high alert. It's another silent warning that often goes unnoticed but should never be underestimated. Speaking of which, did you know that cold sweat can be one of the clearest signs of a heart attack? Let's understand how it shows up. 7. Cold sweat. Cold sweat is the kind of symptom that sneaks up on you and is often quickly dismissed as nerves, anxiety, or even the heat of the room. But when your body starts sweating without reason, especially in situations of rest or without physical exertion, it's a red flag. This sweat is a result of a nervous system response indicating something isn't right, possibly a heart under stress. It's like your body goes into survival mode, sweating in a desperate attempt to balance itself. This symptom often comes with a cold sensation or strange chill, as if something bad is about to happen. It's a classic response when the body's in crisis, trying to cope with an internal problem we can't see. You might feel sweat trickling down your back even in a cool environment. And this should be a major alert, especially if it comes with other signs like chest pain or palpitations. Cold sweat doesn't pick a moment to appear, and because it's so subtle, it's often completely ignored. However, it's one of the clearest signs that the heart is struggling. When accompanied by swelling in the feet or ankles, it can indicate even more serious circulation issues. Let's explore this next symptom to understand how the body warns us when circulation is compromised. 8. Swollen feet and ankles. Swelling in the feet and ankles is one of those signs people usually attribute to heat, a long day, or even improper footwear. However, when this swelling appears without a clear cause and persists, it can be an indication that the heart isn't functioning well. This swelling, known as edema, occurs because the heart, when weakened, can't pump blood efficiently, causing fluid to accumulate in the body's extremities. It's not just a cosmetic inconvenience, it's a warning that something isn't right. For many, the swelling is more evident at the end of the day when shoes feel tighter or socks leave marks on the legs. It can be one of the first signs of heart failure, a condition where the heart can't maintain adequate blood flow. Many people ignore this symptom, believing it will pass with some rest or by elevating their legs. But if the swelling becomes a pattern, it's time to investigate further. This symptom often appears quietly, accompanied by other signs like shortness of breath or palpitations, but it's frequently overlooked. The body tries in various ways to show that circulation is compromised, and swelling is one of those ways. Speaking of palpitations, let's understand how these irregular heartbeats are more than just a minor annoyance and can be a sign of something much more serious. 9. Palpitations or irregular heartbeats. Palpitations are those fast, strong, or irregular heartbeats that often come out of nowhere, making you feel like your heart is jumping out of your chest. It's common to associate them with nervousness, stress, or even caffeine intake. But when these sensations become frequent without any apparent reason, it's a warning sign. Palpitations can indicate arrhythmias, irregular heart rhythms, and in some cases can precede a heart attack. Imagine lying down, relaxing, and suddenly your heart starts beating out of rhythm. This is not something to ignore. Many describe these sensations as a beat that seems to skip or a flutter in the chest that comes and goes without warning. When the heart is out of sync, the body feels it. And these episodes aren't just annoying. They're a sign that the cardiovascular system may be overworked. If palpitations are accompanied by other symptoms like cold sweat or dizziness, the risk is even greater. It's the body's way of alerting that something isn't right, and seeking medical advice is essential. These irregular heartbeats aren't always constant, making them easy to ignore. However, they're a sign that the heart may be struggling to keep the right pace. This symptom, like back or arm pain, is a classic warning that shouldn't be neglected. And it's precisely about this pain that we'll talk now, a symptom that, despite being classic, remains underestimated. 10. Back or arm. Back or arm pain, especially on the left side, is one of the classic signs of a heart attack, yet it's still widely underestimated. Many believe these pains are due to bad posture, physical strain, or even poor sleep. However, when these pains appear suddenly, intensely, or persistently, they can be a cry from the heart for help. This pain can radiate from the chest to the back or arm, creating a feeling of heaviness or burning, and it's often ignored because it's not directly linked to the heart. It's common for this pain to be mistaken for a muscle problem or something less serious like a pinched nerve. The pain can be mild, like a constant discomfort, or it can appear sharply and last only a few minutes. But the danger lies precisely in not recognizing it. Imagine feeling a pain that seems to have no logical cause, appearing randomly and catching you off guard. If accompanied by other signs like shortness of breath, cold sweat, or palpitations, the risk is much higher than you think. This pain, especially when it occurs unexpectedly, is one of the most important warnings the body gives. It serves as a final alert that something serious is happening and needs immediate attention. It's the last of the silent signals the body sends before a critical situation sets in. Now that we've covered all these symptoms and what they can mean, it's time to understand the impact of recognizing each of them and how this awareness can save lives. After learning about all these silent signals that the body gives, it's clear that no symptom, however simple, should be ignored. How many times have you felt extreme fatigue or dizziness and simply brushed it off? It's time to act before these small warnings turn into something more serious. If you've experienced any of these signs, what are you waiting for to consult a doctor? It's not worth taking risks when it comes to your heart. Now stop and think. Are you really taking care of your health, or are you waiting for an even stronger warning from your body? Comment here if you felt any of these symptoms and share this knowledge with your loved ones. This is the moment to change your life for the better and not let these signs go unnoticed. And if you want to keep learning about heart health and how to protect yourself, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and stay updated with content that could literally save your life. Remember, knowledge is power, and you can't take chances with your health. Don't wait for the worst to happen. Stay one step ahead. So are you ready to pay more attention to the signs your body is sending?